Something you might need to be made aware of. Yah does not look at LinkedIn or Job Recruiter or any of those hiring sites looking for the next one he's going to choose to do what is significant and important to him. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10 Minute Torah, day number 2 of the Torah portion, Tetzaveh. Let's go to Shemot, or Exodus chapter number 28, and let's begin reading with verse number 1. Again, Yah is speaking to Moshe, and he says, "And you, bring near Aaron your brother, and his sons with him from among the children of Israel for serving as priests to me, Aaron, Nadav, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron." Yah is sending Moshe on a mission of sorts. Go convince your brother to serve me as the high priest. Now, it's normally considered that Aaron was taken without much of a choice about this lifelong responsibility, that he was drafted. Are you willing to be drafted? Or are you one of those wild folks that you'll volunteer? I got a feeling most of you will be the volunteers. The word that is used here for go bring him near is karav. It is the root word from which we get the word korban. If you're transliterating that, you might spell it Korban. Or korban is an offering that we put on the altar. And again, according to its root, it is that which allows us then to rise up and be brought near into the presence of Yah. Yeshua, our eternal korban, enables us to arise and be close to the Father. And so it fits. So Moshe is to draw near to him, but to korab, bring Aaron and his sons to me. Hint, hint. This is sacrificial on your part, Aaron. This is not an easy job. Later on, when we read the details about the lifestyle of the high priest in particular, it's not an easy job. Every day for the rest of his life, without vacation, he is to go and to serve in the courtyards. He doesn't have an assistant high priest. Now he has Kohanim, he has those who help him in the duties of his office, presenting offerings on the altar, etc. But he doesn't have someone to say, "I'm taking tomorrow off, I need you to fill in for me." It doesn't work that way. And so for the rest of his life, he is duty-bound to walk in the presence of the Most High, knowing that if he is unclean, if by some means he has prevented himself ritually from operating in that office, and he goes ahead and tries to do so anyway, to whom much is given, much is required, it could be a deadly experience for him. When you read again about he's limited as to who he can marry, he's limited as to mourning, he's not allowed to attend parents' or family members' funerals. He can't be seen crying and grieving. This is not an easy job. But when we read this, one might assume that Aaron is going to be given the opportunity to say, I don't want to. In verse 2, it says to Moshe, "And you shall make set-apart garments for Aaron your brother, for his name and for comeliness." It doesn't seem that Yah is even considering an option here of him saying no. You go bring him here. It's a sacrificial job for he and for his sons. And by the way, now start making these clothes for him. He hasn't even been asked yet. Yet Yah is fitting the uniform for him. So did Moshe even understand at this point all that was going to be required? Did he understand what he was asking Aaron to do? But It didn't even seem that that was to be considered. Or did Yah already know the heart of this man and know that he would say yes to anything that he asked him to do? Kind of building on yesterday. So remember how Moshe stood at the burning bush. The rabbis teach for 30 days, or how long it took. He stood toe to toe with the creator of the universe and argued as to why he was not the right man for the job. He finally said yes. The prophet Jeremiah, when he was initially called in chapter 1 of his book, he said, I can't do it. I'm just a kid. And Yah says, do not say that. You're not permitted the out. I knew you from before you were formed in your mother's womb. I called you to be a prophet, and that's what you're going to do. And if you mess up in front of the eyes of others and get cowardly and shake in front of them, I will cause you to shake in front of me. It's going to be bad, son. Now do what I told you to do. We don't have that in our society anymore, where those that are in authority or those who are parents draw a firm line and say, questions are not allowed to be asked. This is what has to be done. Let's get it done because it needs to be done. And so we are offended at times when Yah speaks firmly to us and says, this is what I want you to do. And we come up with our list of excuses. But Father, I'm not qualified. I know that. And someone else is better than me at this. I know that too. So why don't you call them? Because I called you. Yah is calling and raising up a people for himself in this day to go across lines that are uncomfortable to cross, to take on challenges that may not seem to be possible for them, to dream bigger than they've been dreaming before, to think so far outside the box sometimes you don't know where the edge of the box is, to consider the impossible to now be your calling and your duty. If this is your case, welcome to the club. Welcome to those that are rowing in this same boat, because you're not the only one. Yah is doing great things in the earth in the days ahead. He's doing things now, but there are things that I believe Yah is getting ready to do. He's wanting to move. He's wanting to demonstrate his power. The world has run amok. The world is running straight into a brick wall at full speed. And Yah in his compassion and mercy is seeking to raise up people who will meet a challenge. And it doesn't mean that you'll stand in front of crowds. It doesn't mean that you will even be seen in what you're doing. Sometimes he's calling us to great things behind the scenes. Whether you're out front, in the middle, behind, off to the side, wherever the position is, Yah's calling. And before you say, well, I just don't know. Before you go there, remember what in the book of Philippians, what the word says in chapter number 2. Verse 5, for let this mind be in you, which was also in Messiah Yeshua, who, being in the form of Elohim, did not regard equality with Elohim a matter to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, and came to be in the likeness of men. If you've ever prayed, Father, I want to be like the Messiah. I want to be like Yeshua. I want the heart of Yeshua. I want the words of Yeshua. I want the power of Yeshua. Father, I want to walk in the steps of Yeshua. That includes laying down our arguments, laying down our pride, laying down all of the reasons why I can't. I don't know how. None of those things matter. The calling of Yahweh upon our lives is also infused with the authority and the power to get the thing done. Welcome to the times of challenge, but also welcome to some of the greatest days that the man has ever seen on the face of the earth. The days where Yah raises up the unsuspecting and the unpolished and does phenomenal things through you. We'll see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.